I'm Kenneth.
And I'm Deidre.
And this is
When Good Things Happen. What's good, y'all?
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
How y'all doing? Well, I don't know how many of you know that March is Youth Art Month. And so we wanted to recognize a young artist on this week. But there's another, March is a couple of other things. So we may, in our segments, do different things every week. We may not focus totally on youth art all month long. But I know I wanted to get this young lady on here for us this month. And I was waiting for something like this, and I was thinking, we're gonna get her on here. So I'm excited about it. It's funny that I looked at when I was looking at her stuff when I first saw her. I think it was like the week after we started the broadcast, and she had posted. Well, a friend of mine had shared her post of a dear friend of mine that I actually went to school with at Fort Knox, and she was a councilwoman here in Radcliffe, Kentucky, loved by many, the game-changing Miss Tanya Seabrooks. And so I just wanted to share this little bit of video real fast, let you see what I saw that actually turned me on to this little girl. About that, and I thought that was so amazing. Awesome. And I was like, she passed away. We lost her last in 2020, I believe, 2021. I believe, I can't remember the year, but we lost, I think it was last year. But when I saw that picture, I was like, oh my gosh, I saw the picture that she painted, the picture that Amari did before, and I knew the other picture that I had seen before, and I was like, wow, she did so good. It's funny that we went to a paint and sip the other week.
Yes.
I guess it was in preparation
for this. It's a very hard thing. I'm
sure you know from the laughs that we didn't do too well. But I mean, we was all right. But yeah, we had jokes on our own artwork. But we did all right. We had fun, but we need much practice, and we are not gifted in that area that we do know. I didn't need to go to it to find out. No,
neither did I.
Yeah. We knew from the beginning we were setting ourselves up, but it was fun. So, but yeah, we wanted to recognize her on today. So we're going to get right into it. And I'm going to read a little bit about her. Amari Jones is 11 years old. Her parents are Larry and Jaquita Jones. She has a brother named Larry that they call LJ. She's in the 6th grade, and she attends Bluegrass Middle School. She is part of the Lady Bulldog basketball team, the Beta Club, currently learning to read and write Japanese, and was recently accepted into the Gifted and Talented program for art. She loves painting and drawing and wants to become an animator. Her parents have started social media pages showcasing her artwork. She's on Facebook, and Instagram, and you can find examples of her work. And she also has a couple of pieces listed on Etsy. So we're going to get ready to bring her on after this slideshow. Welcome, Miss
Amari.
Amari. How are you?
Good.
You and your awesome work. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
girl, you are so blessed and anointed with that paintbrush. Yeah. I was looking at some of the pictures as I was going through Nina Simone and the different ones, and as you see, even in the slideshow, I had to find the original pictures because they were so good and so
Yes.
spot on. Even the one that you did of yourself, it was just so spot on, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. The one you did to put on the t-shirt, and I was just like, man, she's really talented.
Very talented. I was amazed because when she told me that you were 11, it's just like 11. Oh my god! Because I did try to do this painting thing, Mari, and it didn't work out the best for me. I'm not sure how. I had the small brush, the big brush, and that medium sized brush, and I know you're supposed to be able to use that tip to be able to do it. But I'm telling you, when you do those fine turns, I just didn't have it in me because everything that I was supposed to be thin, it seemed to be too big. Everything supposed to be big was real thin, and so it didn't work out. So I'm just like when you do when I'm looking at your portraits, I'm going, this young girl is talented. But when she told me you were 11, I was like floored because I was like, this is unreal for somebody to be 11 years old, and I'm looking at your portraits, even the ones in behind you, which is some of the portraits that we've already displayed.
Mhm.
Those portraits are just dynamic, amazing. I can't even. I'm just sitting here looking at the one right behind your dad right there, and I'm sitting here going, "Oh my God, you are amazing. You are amazing." And you're in the sixth. Is it sixth grade? You said.
Yes.
Okay, bluegrass. Okay, okay. So outside of painting, what do you like to do?
I like to write. I like reading. I love doing math. Um, I like basketball. I like doing volleyball. I've done tennis,
Wow.
Oh wow.
and it's pretty much it.
I see that you're learning to speak, to read and write Japanese. What got you into Japanese? Why?
Um, I like watching anime, and one of my teachers,
Mhm.
they are really fluent in Japanese. And when I saw like some of the Japanese symbols that they put on the board,
Mhm.
it really inspired me, and I wanted to learn it.
Yeah. Wow. Is it hard or
It's hard.
is it? Because I look at when I look at that the writing and I'm like, what? How in the world you get a word out of that?
Yeah.
It's like what in the world?
Those
And you
things-
see some people that's writing in Japanese, they're writing all fast and stuff, and it's like it would take me a while. So how did you get into art? What
Um,
inspired you? How did you end up where you are right now when it comes to art? And when did you realize that you could when you were interested in it, or when did you realize you could do it? Or and we do have Dad over there on the side. We recognize him, Mr. Larry Jones.
Hey,
it pretty much naturally happened. I
Mhm.
started out with sketching, and in art class in elementary school, I painted on paper. My art teacher noticed and always said I was like really good, and I kept sketching, doing a lot more stuff. And then I started on canvases, and I started painting abstract and famous people,
Mhm.
and it's pretty much where I got today. Yeah.
And so you were in elementary school when you started that?
Yes.
And I think I was doing a little bit of research. Mr. Jones, are you an artist?
no, ma'am.
You're not.
I'm actually up until about 6 months ago. I worked primarily as a professional musician. I now teach school,
Okay.
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 but no, I'm mostly a musician.
Okay. So
Okay.
she didn't get it from your mom. It's
A little bit from me. My father is a retired art teacher, and
oh,
he taught me some stuff, but I can't do that.
you can't touch that, huh?
No,
You like
I can do like bubble letters, and
Yeah, yeah.
my dad was really good. He taught all of us how to draw and how to paint and things like that. But I took an interest in music,
okay.
and there were some things that she got interested in. I was able to show her like how to mix colors and stuff like that. But that was about it. All the other stuff. Mm-mm.
Wow.
It's dynamic.
Yeah.
Now I heard you using Amari. I heard you using the word abstract. Now ain't nobody all us amateurs, we don't use the word abstract. We just know it's a painting. It is. But I actually just learned the word abstract last when we just did this painting thing just a couple of weeks ago.
We had to do our homework.
So in basketball, so what position do you play in basketball?
Play at the block, better at defense.
Okay. Okay.
I usually rebound and pass the ball a lot better than most of my team players.
Okay. All right. So
Okay.
you out there. So this platform is for us to be able to share with the world what you do and what happens in the day of Amari Jones. What does the typical day look like for you on a school day? I know you get dressed and all that. When you get to school, how do you prepare your day? Do you even paint while do you take an art class while you're at school, or you do all the other stuff? Because I looked at all the stuff that you're into.
I don't take an art class. I'm in bands. I usually start the day in my dad's classroom,
Okay.
and I go to like the library to hang out with one of my friends. They work there, and since school starts at like 8:10, I would go to the classroom at 8 o'clock and put my instrument up and just wait for the bell to ring.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So when you are in the zone, okay, because I'm not a painter, but I know at one point in time, like I do sew at times, and then I used to when the show Cake Boss first came out. I wanted to take a stab at it, and I did make some decorative cakes. And I know with me, I would do my best work like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody was asleep, when it was just really calm, and just let the creative juices flow. So for you, is there a specific time in the day for you, or is there a specific regimen that you use as far as turning music on, kind of just like, or when you just go in your room and does it have to be a certain time of day or whatever like that for you to go in your room or go wherever to start painting?
There's not like a specific time. There'll be like sometimes at school I'll be like thinking of something and then I want to just draw it
Hmm.
at home.
Uh-huh.
I like to listen to music and whatever I'm listening to, that's like
Yeah.
how I would like imagine it and just draw.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So I would probably say like the most common time that I have like the most ideas is like in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. That's great. So they have I see the gifted and talented program for art. Is that offered through your school?
Mhm.
Yes, offered.
Okay. That's
That's
great.
right.
That's
That's real
great.
good stuff here.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'm gonna kind of mix these two, and maybe this has happened. So I heard your dad say he's a musician.
Mhm.
Okay. So have you ever just listened to him do what he does, and you just start just painting anything just because the way you hear the music?
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because I know a lot of people. I've seen that several times, and there are some people that actually during music productions
Yeah.
or people playing music in their paint.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a technical name
Yeah.
for it. If there is, I don't know it. So
Yeah,
you can you can help us out if there is. But
because me and Brother Jones can relate because he is I can say he's an artist because when he is doing his music, we are pretty much artists because he, whatever needs to be there, he's supplying that color for whatever the basic notes are. So he's supplying that here and there. So he is an artist somewhat,
yeah, that makes
musical
sense.
artist.
Right. That makes
So,
sense.
but
Yeah, a lot of the audio and a lot of the visuals share a lot of the same terms.
Mhm.
right,
So
right,
where and I there are certain things in art like tone.
Mhm.
right,
There are certain things like color
Mhm.
that you could do that in music. There are certain things like even with um, even with in music you have a key. Like
right,
a song could be in the key of C. In art, you have a color key.
right.
Uh, and I just know that just from the fact of my dad being an artist. Like there could be uh you could be drawing a picture and the color key could be kind of like a red color, red, orange, yellow, kind of a kind of a theme, or it could be like green, blue, and some other kind of a thing. And so a lot of those things are interchangeable. And so a lot of times she's the way our house is set up, we have a basement, and so I have a small recording studio in the next room.
Okay, so
So,
you hear this a lot.
so when I'm working out a beat or working out some kind of a composition, which is another word in art,
Yeah.
uh, I could be doing something in my space and she's in the next room, and sometimes she'll come over and say, "Hey, do that again."
Wow.
Sometimes I'll peep in and see what she's doing,
Yeah.
and but yes, and some of the weirdest abstract things have come from us just she doing her thing and me doing my thing in the next room.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that is wonderful. I'm
That's
just
good.
sitting here. I'm still just amazed because I'm looking at all this. I'm just seeing this. This is when she brought this to me about you. I didn't even have a second thought. I kind of just when she showed it to me, I sat up and I was like, who did this? But you are only 11 years old. This is just like still. This is
I read the first line and I mean my mouth dropped. I was like, 11? I was like,
this
what? I mean, because when I seen the picture of you standing there with Tanya Seabrook's picture, and I was like, young girl, but I did not think 11 years old. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. I was like,
She's also very tall, so most people that see her think she's in high school.
really?
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
we've gotten invitations to come to talent shows and competitions, and they say you must be in the 9th grade, and we're like,
No.
and then when we tell them why we can't go, they're like, what? She just looks like she's really tall. We're almost the same height.
Oh
Oh
my
wow.
goodness.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
good
So
for
yeah,
you.
she appears older than she is, and so it takes a lot of people by surprise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But she's been drawing and coloring and uh making pictures of what she thought something was since she was probably about 3 or 4.
Oh wow.
And thankfully, mom and I were able to detect it early, so we just
Yes.
kept feeding it.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
you do. That's what you
Yeah.
do. Some parents, they just, some people don't, oh, it's just something. But I tell people all the time with my children, when I see them showing interest, I'm going out and buying everything. It's like they want to do this.
Yeah.
Everything I go, okay, we getting this because they like this now. I mean, it may change, but you never know. They may stick with it.
Yeah.
So when they show an interest for it, you never know where it'll take you. So yeah.
Yes, and mom, thankfully, she saw it before I did. Though my
Uh-huh.
dad is the artist, and I can draw a little bit. We were going to Gloryland Harvest in Radcliffe,
Uh-huh.
and first I remember the first picture that I remember her drawing was she drew a picture of the building or what she thought it looked like, and
Uh-huh.
at the time she was probably 2, maybe 3,
Wow.
and my wife got it and kept it. I don't know where it is now, but she pointed that out like, hey, we should probably start getting her some, some
Yeah.
art supplies or some crayons or something. And she's always done it.
Mhm.
And when her art teacher figured out that she could do it in elementary school, they had to kind of differentiate when they did stuff in class, because if there was an art contest, nobody else wanted to compete.
Right.
Okay.
Like, okay, we're gonna have a drawing contest. Everybody's like, oh.
Go ahead and give it to her.
You already know who won.
Yeah. So she started having contests, and she would either just exclude Amari from it, or she would give her something a lot harder because she knew she was able to do a little bit more with it.
Right.
This is so awesome. So now after basketball and the Beta Club, yeah, you're all around here. So I'm just trying to. What do you do outside of doing all the stuff that we talked about? What do you like to do? Do you like to watch movies? I heard you said you wanted to be an animator. So what cartoon is it that you watch?
I usually just like watch cartoons with my brother on like Disney Channel, like stuff like that. I just watch it, and I'm just sitting with him, and I see it, and I'm like thinking of like the process they had to go through and how long it had to take.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like sketching different things out and like how I can animate it.
Okay.
And yeah, I usually just watch shows with my brother.
Is it hard and difficult being with the type of mind and seeing stuff like you do? Is it difficult sometimes to watch stuff because you think too hard into it as far as can't enjoy it because you're thinking about how you can draw this and how you can do that?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I like look at details
Uh-huh.
other than just like watch the show or the
Right.
movie. I
I
just look
mean,
into the details and see how they probably just like shaded that in or just colored the
right.
whole thing or like how they did the background.
Wow.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
No fun to watch a movie with.
Right.
Right,
That's why
right.
that's why I started laughing when she was saying that. I was like, I'm sure
Mhm.
that's probably difficult for her.
Yes, I can't tell you how many movies. Daddy, look at that. Did you see that? Go no, go back, go back.
Oh man, this is really nice. This is
So
really nice.
I see that you have some couple pieces listed on Etsy. And just want do you take do you like do people put requests in and ask you to draw portraits or different things like that?
Yeah, there are like some people who ask me to like paint a picture of somebody or draw somebody that they knew.
Oh, okay.
There are like sometimes where I can accept it.
Yes, yes. I know, like I said, sometimes people get a lot really technical like so
Yeah.
sometimes you have to be like, no, because like I said, when I was doing when I actually stopped doing the cakes, the decorative cakes that I was doing because I couldn't really let my creative juices flow because I started doing it for fun and it was just creative, for me to be able to let my creative juices flow. But if they actually show me something that they want, and I'm like, that's not my work, and I don't get to use my creativity to get, what I'm saying? So that's why I was wondering if it's difficult. I mean, not probably not difficult, but it's easier when you can be creative and create something, along the lines of somebody like set something and say, hey, I would like a picture with such and such, a photo, portrait with such and such in there, and then you use your creative mind to get them that, and not necessarily something they show you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One challenge is that um people will look at a picture like Miss Seabrooks or one of these other pictures,
Hmm.
and they'll come and say, "Hey, can you paint a picture of my mama?" And
Uh-huh.
they'll come with a picture like this big.
Right.
Right, right. Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
paint my mama?
Yeah.
This is the picture, and so we're sitting here looking at it like, well, how can we see?
Right, right.
You have to see the picture.
Yeah.
So you have some people that have that situation,
Yeah.
and and then you have some people that um, realize they're dealing with a child, and
Right.
so they come in and they try to like box her in, like, "Hey, what you charge to do this?" And so we try to run interference
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
when people
I
come
know.
along, because you have those that come in and, what do you charge for this? Or how do you charge for that? And so we've kind of like, okay, anytime someone says something, bring it back to us and say, hey, I'll get back with you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So we've had to kind of cut people off there,
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
and
I can.
it's amazing some of the things that we have as parents have seen, and
Hmm.
most people don't realize that mom and dad run the Facebook page, so we've had quite a few
Right.
people jump on,
Right. That part. Yeah. Yeah. That
yeah,
part.
ask questions, and we'll sit there and answer the questions, and but like we've headed off a lot of side steps and a lot of traps,
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
just from watching, because people come with different things and they don't realize a lot of times the amount of work that goes into it.
Hmm.
Right.
Um,
Right.
when she started on Miss Seabrooks, that took what, 2 or 3 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks after school, every day on the weekends. And it wasn't just like I'm sitting up here painting. It was like I'm looking at this and I'm looking at that,
Right.
I'm looking at
I mean,
this.
because she has every detail. I mean,
Yeah.
every
Studying.
detail. Like that's why I did the picture and the side by side. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Like I said, when I looked at it immediately, I knew exactly what picture that was that I had seen of her before, and I was like, oh my gosh!
Yeah. That was just. I mean.
Yep.
So even though which I'm just now kind of seeing this, it takes you typically on an average takes 2 or 3 weeks on a painting when you really are into it. So do you get inspired like in the middle of the night while you're at school, eating lunch, eating dinner? Do you just stop? And I mean, I know you can't stop while you're at school and just go painting, but if you're at home and dinner time is happening, do you just stop in the middle of dinner because that inspiration has happened and you just go start painting, or it just how does that work?
So like if I'm like at dinner, I would have like something I think about, I would like write it down and
Ah,
I would sketch it out because I got a computer for Christmas, and
ah,
I have a tablet that I can sketch on. So I would sketch it out on the computer, and then I would look at it and see if I could paint it on a canvas.
yes,
So, like, even at school, I would, like, sketch different stuff, and when, like, I finished my work pretty early, I would just, like, sketch on a separate piece of paper, write some stuff down, and I would do it at home.
yeah. So this is awesome.
I
This
can,
is,
I can
I
only
don't have to
imagine.
ask. I know she's an A student. I already know. But
Straight A.
by the way
Straight
she's
A.
by the way she's talking to me and carrying this conversation on, it's like, yeah, I don't even have to ask.
Yeah, straight A.
So do you enjoy uh the conversations that other 11-year-olds have, or do you enjoy other conversations with, like, say, like with your parents, because it's on a different level? Because
Well,
you
I like conversations with, like, more just, my parents, like, more people my age, because I have a different maturity level. I'm interested in different stuff.
yes,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because you were definitely when I read this thing and said beta club, I was like, oh, okay, so let me go over here and sit in the corner. Let me go right
She
here and
wants to
sit
talk to
down.
some people with some intelligence.
Yeah,
That's what she wants.
we go sit in the corner.
I don't blame you.
But
That's
yeah,
great.
because
That's
I
great.
always when you're around people, I always try to surround myself around people that are more smarter than me, so that way I can attach myself to them. And you are like dynamically intelligent, because you're carrying this conversation on and you're sitting there just like, okay, I've done this before. Come on, man. Whatever you got to say, say it. He's like, that's what he, but I really have enjoyed talking with you, Amari. I really have. I'm sure that she's going to reach out to you, because I'm very interested myself in getting I don't even care what you paint us. Just as long as we got a piece of artwork
Yeah,
that
we
you
just
have
give you
in
some
here.
colors.
Yeah, because
Let you go.
yeah, because this is something awesome. This is something awesome. I have enjoyed you, and Mr. Jones, I appreciate you
Yes,
letting letting her be on the platform this evening. So, Amari, what I would do want to do is, if you could tell this platform, the people that are going to be watching, the people that are watching, tell us uh, something that you want us to know about you.
We want you to remember you by.
I would say that I'm just really outgoing and confident.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love that. Yes,
Okay.
confident. Love it.
true.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, yes,
That
that's
is perfect.
it.
Because
That's it.
in 10 years, when you go back and look at this, you're gonna be like, I said the same thing 10 years ago, and I still believe it.
Yes.
So this is the only thing we're trying to do on this platform, is make sure somebody gets to see what you do, because this is going to reach a lot of people.
Yes.
Uh, I just, oh man, this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm almost speechless for words, and I'm typically not that type of person.
I was thinking the same thing. You have him speechless, and he's not like that too often. He's not like
Yeah,
that too
you are
often.
just, yeah.
But yes, Mr. Jones, you and your wife are doing a wonderful job.
Yes.
You have a jewel on your hands, and we thank you, Amari, so much for. This is a good thing to us. This is a good thing, and it needs to be recognized, because when good things happen, we want to talk about it, and we
Yes.
want people to know and see the good things, because everybody's not out there doing negative things. There are people, even at young ages, even at 11-year-olds, that are doing great things that can inspire other people to want to do things.
Yes.
Just listen, just this alone, somebody else might think about, getting into Japanese or whatever like that, because they may not have thought about it, but not only that, someone else may be like, oh, I think I like to draw, or I think I like art, but didn't have the initiative, or some other parent might watch it and be like, I did see this from my child, and maybe I need to do like Mr. Jones did, and maybe get, color pencils and paints and stuff like that, and see if my child is interested in this. So we wanted to thank you all so
Yes,
much
thank
for
you.
joining us today and being on this platform. You are an amazing young
Yes,
woman.
amazing.
Young
Amazing.
woman. You keep up the good work. You keep doing great things, and I'm sure we'll be hearing more from you.
Yes.
we are following you on social media.
We
We
are.
looking for, but we are going to be hearing more from you. But thank you so much for doing the great things you do, and you all have a nice night, and you be blessed. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am. Thank you all for having us.
Thank you. That was, I mean,
Yes.
11 years old.
Yes.
I'm still speechless because if you looked at that slideshow and then if you're looking in the back of her while she's talking to us, that canvas that she had going on behind there, all the artwork that she had out there. Again, this is when good things happen, and this generation is coming up with a whole lot of stuff that we didn't have, and we didn't have access to. For me, I grew up in a Pentecostal home, and church was everything that I was supposed to be going to, no matter what. Church kept us pretty busy. Nowadays, church is still busy, but now we've learned how to balance life and enjoy life and understand other things. And this young lady is 11 years old. I do know that they go to church because he mentioned that part there. So with that being said, anybody that goes to church on a regular, and especially him being a musician, it could be a pretty busy, busy situation. But they have also found the time to invest and the quality time, the tools needed for her to be able to just expound and grow on that. Again, this is Youth Art Month, and this month we're going to be celebrating all month long on youth, on art, on a few other things we got going on in the month of March. But we just want March to be a great month for everyone, including the youth, because it is your art month. So any musicians, any artists that actually use the paintbrush, any poets, anybody that's writing books, anybody that's doing anything that is an artist form, you could be a songwriter or any of that. Again, please hit us up on the Winburns 2021 at gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Hit the hearts, the likes, the loves. Share it with your friends. Share it with your neighbor, your cousin, your uncle, just anybody. Yeah, all your family, and everybody got somebody in their family named Junebug. So share it with him too. So please just like and love and share this, because we want to be a blessing to somebody out there. Again, this is when good things happen.